Water, Mayim Chayim, living waters, purifying waters. Water is a key element to human life, but is also an integral part of Jewish life and Jewish traditions. In this week's Parashat Ki Tissah, we learn about a census to be taken of the Israelites, the wash basin to be created for the tabernacle, the introduction to Betzalel, the artisan who will craft the beautiful ritual objects in the Mishkan, as well as the prescription to observe Shabbat. Today, I would like us to focus our attention on the creation of the wash basin from Shemot, chapter 30, verses 18 through 20. In verse 18, we learn about a wash basin that should be constructed and placed between the Mishkan and the altar. In verse 19, we read, Berachatzu Aharon uvanav mimenu, et yadehem ve'et reglehem. And Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet when they come near to the altar to minister. They are told to do this so that they do not die when they make a sacrifice. But why would God kill the priests for not washing their hands? Also, why is this the last item we hear about being built for the Mishkan? Throughout the Tanakh, we read about a variety of types of impurities, both for men and for women. The priests were to be particularly sensitive to the challenges of impurity and were to ensure their purity at all times. This sensitivity to purity would later trickle down from the priests to all of Israel. The Shulchan Aruch, a comprehensive work on Jewish law, or halakha, was compiled by Rabbi Joseph Caro in the 16th century, and it gives us a better idea of why these priests were instructed to wash their hands. Caro writes, "Every person upon waking in the morning should wash his hands, with water poured from a utensil." He attempts to explain the rationale for the washing of hands with the following statement. Man entrusts his soul to God at night, tired and exhausted, and God restores it to him, rejuvenated and refreshed, so that he may serve his Creator with all his capacity, this being the purpose of man. Therefore, we should sanctify ourselves with his holiness, and wash our hands with water from a vessel before serving God and ministering to God, like the Kohen, the priest, who would wash his hands from the basin each day before beginning his service. In this case, the everyday Joe Schmo is equated with a priest. We, as Jews, are commanded to wash our hands when we wake in order to rejuvenate ourselves, to sanctify ourselves, to better serve our purposes in the world. This blessing is known as Nitilat Yadayim, and is also said before eating bread. But why is the description of this item, the wash basin, and this ritual, left to the very end? All the other objects to be made for the Mishkan, such as the menorah and the altar, and even the clothing for the priests, were described in the two previous parashot. One answer, wash basin is not used immediately. It's not part of the Mishkan that needs to be built ASAP. In this case, washing is simply a part of preparing for a sacrifice, so it is listed at the very end. This is a preparation for the service of God, because washing hands symbolizes washing away anything that is impure. Although this is a common theme throughout the Torah, I would like us to think about water and washing of hands as not only as a means of cleansing ourselves, but as a way of connecting with God on a deeper level. Time and again, water and wells in particular are mentioned in the Torah as symbols of life and as a source of God's presence among our ancestors. Water, after all, was not plentiful in the desert. However, the Israelites were blessed to have Miriam's well with them at all times. Water was and remains a great symbol of life in Judaism, and also our connection with God. Not only are we commanded to wash our hands, but we are also commanded to create mikvaot, ritual baths. There are many simple moments when we come in contact with water, when we might not even think about uttering a blessing. Daily when we wash our hands, or even when we take a bath or a shower. On the other hand, we might go to the mikveh before an important life cycle event, or monthly if we observe Nidah. We do not have to go to the mikveh, a ritual bath, to experience true closeness with God in water. Even washing our hands can bring us closer to God. This week, we reflect on the important role water plays in our everyday lives, and reflect on ways we can find closeness with God, even in the most simplest of rituals, of washing our hands. Maybe the next time you wash your hands, you'll reflect on the important role of water plays in your life, how it cleanses and refreshes you, inside and out, and how Mayim Chayim, living waters, can bring you closer to God.